Hey everyone, welcome back to the studio. This week, we'll be going over another incredible Barry Harris concept that can help get you through chord changes in those moments that inspiration fails to strike. We'll go over his concept of the 5-4-3-2 phrases. First, I'll show you each phrase on its own, and then we'll learn how to combine these four licks into an exercise that we should take through all 12 keys. Then, we'll learn some ways to put the phrases to use during a scale run, and finally, I'll show you guys some examples of these in action over a 2-5. You guys ready? Let's get started. You guys have probably heard most of these phrases in recordings of solos by countless jazz musicians over the years. All Barry's really done here is to create a rule out of some of the most common bits of bebop language of his day, and then, as he does in all his master classes, apply that rule in a logical way so that it's easy to practice and then implement over chord changes. This kind of thinking is essential, in my opinion, to learning how to hear these phrases and this language in real time. He calls these phrases 5-4-3-2 simply because that's the degree of the scale that each one begins with. Let's start out by learning these four phrases in the key of C. We can also combine these phrases into one super phrase like this. It's really important to take these through all 12 keys so we know how they feel and sound no matter what key we're in or what key that we're going to. Here's how Barry would instruct us to practice. Play each phrase twice and then play the combination. Then go up a fourth to get to the next key. For guitarists, I think it's also super important to practice at least a couple of different fingering options, so we're not always locked into playing them the same way without any flexibility. Here's a quick demonstration of the first three keys so you can see how that sounds. Next, I'll show you guys how we can make use of these ideas in the context of a scale so we can start putting them into use over some chord changes. Using these four phrases in a scale idea is actually pretty simple. All we need to do is run up or down the scale to the degree that the phrase is named for, and then play the phrase. The one caveat being is that we need to make sure that the phrase starts on the right part of the beat. What that means is that 5 and 4 need to both start on a strong beat. That's 1 or 3. The 3 and 2 phrase both start on a weak beat, so we can make them happen on 2 or 4. To make this happen consistently, we'll need to make use of some extra half steps depending on what note that you start out on. Here's how those phrases can fit into some simple scale ideas over a 2-5 in C major. Even though all we did was just combine these phrases with some scale runs, they're already starting to sound like bebop language. Let's see what happens when we combine this phrase study with things that we've covered here in the past, like half-step rules and pivot arpeggios. Once you've got these four phrases under your fingers, we should try inserting them into our practice of playing scale and arpeggio ideas over chord changes. It's important to do this slowly at first so that you can hear your way through and keep things feeling and sounding natural. Check out these 4 licks to get an idea of what this can eventually sound like. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I hope if you've made it this far that you've been able to get some new material to inject into your solos. These phrases are really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to this kind of material though. There's lots of ways that we can develop our own phrase studies like this and come up with new material for improvisation. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see more stuff like this in the future. Had you guys ever heard about these Barry phrases before? If you had, I hope by watching this video that you've been able to get some more insight into how to actually use them in your practice. As always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss an upload. You can also check out my Patreon if you want to get access to all the written material and backing tracks from these videos. I also upload monthly bonus studies for patrons only. This month, patrons will be getting an extra covering the Barry Harris chromatic concept in way more depth than I was able to fit into a video here on the channel. If that sounds like something you'd be into, head on over there and join the studio. A big thanks goes out to my wonderful patrons: PH, Josh, David Zuckerbraun, Patrick Caron, David Nickel, and Jazz Luminaire patron Bebop Babdi. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you to all of you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.